What's up guys, in today's video we're going to be reviewing the Nova 1. It's an Android mobile phone slash tablet. It's really a phablet, but they don't really call it that. So very interesting device. Screen size is really interesting what they're doing with this guy. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so let's go ahead and start off with these specifications, which are actually pretty good with this guy. So it does have a 6-inch IPS display, which they really stress, and it is really beautiful. It's a 960 by 540 on the 6-inch display. It does have a 1.2 gigahertz quad-core processor, so this guy screams so far. Not a lot of lag with this guy at all, which I was surprised with. 1 gigabyte of RAM, 8 gigabytes of memory internal, so you can expand that with a micro SD card slot and get up to 32 gigabytes of storage. So it also has Android 4.4, which was a big thing for me, was a big surprise because most new phones actually don't even have that. So talking about the display, so this guy, the display is the biggest thing on here. So you can actually put the Moto G inside of this guy's display just to give you an idea of how big this guy actually is. And when you turn it on, the screen really pops, the colors pop, and I was just really surprised with the display on here. I thought it was really great. So let's go ahead and talk about the hardware on here. So we talked about the 6-inch display. So on the bottom you have these capacitive buttons. On here, sort of like a Samsung phone. On the bottom you have nothing, and on the sides here you have the volume rocker, and you have the sleep and wake button, and it has this sort of texturized thing to it, which is really nice. And this is all plastic. It looks like metal, but it's actually just plastic. When you turn to the back here, you'll see the 5 megapixel camera, and at the bottom you'll actually see the speaker port, which is sort of at an odd place, but you know, it's pretty decent. So on the sides here you have pretty much nothing, and on the top here we have the 3.5mm headphone jack and the micro USB port. Okay, so this phablet guy was very interesting. So you know, when I think of phablets, I feel like it needs to do certain things really well, and this thing just blew away my expectations, and it blew away me. I wasn't a big phablet fan, but now this is actually pretty good. So let's go ahead and talk about performance. That 1.2 gigahertz quad-core processor. This guy doesn't really stutter at all, surprisingly. So let's go ahead and type in a website. I feel like a lot of people are going to be wanting to use these things to browse the web because the screen is just so big, and it's really not. It makes a big difference when you're doing just really basic stuff like browsing the web and watching videos, and I messed that up. Typing on here also is really nice too, but I'm looking through the camera. So browsing the web on here is actually really nice and fast. I really enjoy it, and guys, trust me, when you're browsing on these big screens, it makes a huge difference. So I picked this up over my actually tablet and my phone because it's just the size of it. It's just really nice. It falls between a tablet and a phone, just like they said, but it's really nice. The display is pretty crisp. It's not, you know, it's not in, you know, super high resolution or anything like that, but the display is really nice. You can see pixels if you're looking for them, but the display is nice. So just overall going through, they didn't really add a lot to Android, which I really like. And there's no launcher in here. Well, there is a launcher, but it's pretty much just stock Android. They didn't add a lot to it. So if you go into settings and audio profile, this is pretty much the only custom thing you could really find here. And if you're wondering, you can actually get into the bootloader, so you can root this guy and all that stuff. It's pretty easy. So there's not a lot of stutters, not a lot of stuff on here. I guess the pre-installed apps that they have on here, Adobe Reader, APK Manager, Cool Reader, have just sort of you know, the a few browsers from the Google Play Store or Office Suite. So, but these can all be removed actually. So this guy really screams. And let's go ahead and load up some video on here, which I was really impressed with. So now that we got the video loaded up, watching videos on this guy is really nice. It's a different experience, like I said, from watching it on your phone or on your tablet. I have a 7-inch tablet, and this is just really a sweet spot for watching videos and stuff like that. Especially some tablets can be too heavy and stuff like that. This is a really nice weight, and I found that watching videos I really like, and that's usually what I pick it up for, watching videos and browsing the web. So if we come on out of that, so if you're curious of how this guy works with gaming and stuff like that, the 1.2 gigahertz processor really screams with this guy. So I found no gaming problems. So like I said, this guy didn't have a lot of stuttering problems at all. Some volume down. Man, I have no clue what I'm doing. So, go ahead and load up another game. And I have tried out games like Asphalt and stuff like that, and it runs just fine. I'm really not much of a gamer, if you can tell. So like I said, gaming stuff in here, just like I said with the watching videos and stuff, much more enjoyable, you know, on these bigger screens. So, you know, I was really anti big screen, but now it's, I really enjoy it. I might consider checking out some more big screen stuff. So, and another thing to note on here, they actually advertise this as a tablet PC. So, you know, this does not run tablet apps. I tried Spotify on it, and Spotify took it as if it were a phone. So, you know, you're not gonna be able to get like the no shuffle mode thing. The thing is gonna be still there on Spotify. So it still takes it as a phone. So this is pretty much a phone. That's why I call it a tablet, a phablet. So I want to talk about the camera with here. So I'm going to show you guys some pictures and videos, but so far the camera, it's a 5 megapixel camera, 2 megapixel front facing camera, so it's not all that great at all. So you know, the camera is just very bland. It takes decent photos, but you can pretty much judge it for yourself. So in conclusion, you know, I really like this device. It opened my mind up on, you know, big screen phones and stuff like that. It is a really nice thing. I said some of the gripes with this thing that I've had is the battery life isn't the best. It's not terrible, but it's not really good. I had this guy on standby and it died pretty quick. I think it died in about maybe 2 days when I turned Wi-Fi and everything off, and it still died in about 2 days. So the battery life isn't all that great. So you can get about a day's worth of battery life without charging this guy. So you know, that's a little downside. Also, another thing is that just a little minor thing, like they're so close together, the power and the volume button, that you end up getting them mixed together, and you end up either turning it up or turning the screen off, which was a little annoying. But everything is pretty much great on here. The IPS display is great. I'm glad they went with that with such a big phone. So everything else is great. You know, I think it's a pretty good tablet. So this guy will be out coming in the holiday season, so be looking out for that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.